Here are 5 very useful role plays that you can use to practice and improve your English skills using AI tools like ChatGPT. The prompts for all 5 role plays are in the description of this video, so make sure to try them out for yourself. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, time travel, cultural exchange. You're a time traveler. You can travel to the future or the past. How do you explain a cell phone to someone 4,000 years ago? You need to be good at describing things. What questions do you have for them? You need to be good at asking questions. When you're explaining things, you may need conditional sentences if you want to find out some information, or comparatives, more than, less than, right? So you need a lot of language skills to do this well. Let's try it out.
Greetings, traveller. I am Hypatia of Alexandria. Your appearance suggests you're from another time. Can you tell me from when you hail?
Wow, nice observation. I guess it's the corduroy. It's a very futuristic fabric. I come from the year 2024, from a city called New York.
Tell me, how does your city look in your era?
New York City is very densely populated, and there are very large buildings. The buildings are made of steel and glass, and people work in them, they live in them, they shop in them. People in the city travel through something called the subway, which is an underground train. And it's not necessarily more comfortable than traveling by chariot, as you may do. And sometimes it stinks and there are rats and so on. But it is quite fast, probably faster than a chariot.
That sounds like a city of marvels and contrasts. The idea of buildings reaching into the clouds and an underground train is astounding. Our architecture is more modest, but we take pride in our libraries and temples.
Number 2, deserted island survival. You're stuck on an island in the middle of the ocean with someone else, and you need to survive. To do that, you need to give commands. Give instructions. To do that, you may need imperative sentences. Bring me that, right? Go get the firewood or collect the firewood. You may need to negotiate on what to do next. You might not agree on everything. So for this one, we need to think creatively and we need to be ready to give clear instructions. So let's try it out.
I'm Max, an engineer. Let's figure out how to survive and get off this island. What's our first priority?
Well, okay, nice to meet you, Max. My name is Luke, and I'm a chef. That was scary. I wonder if anyone else survived or if it's just you and I. I agree we need to get off the island, but maybe before we start making plans, let's settle our heads here. Let's take a breath. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Fair enough, Luke. I'm from Riverton, Illinois, a small town not far from Springfield. I love figuring out how things work and finding solutions to problems. In my free time, I enjoy hiking and being outdoors,
Did you say flea time?
My mistake, Luke. I meant in my free time. Let's start by searching for food and materials.
Well, let's decide who's in charge here. You've been recommending what we should start doing right away, so it feels to me like you're trying to, how shall I say this, assert dominance? However, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. I'm usually the one, because I'm a chef, a top chef, who takes the lead. I'm used to yelling at people in kitchens and barking at them. I want to be in charge. Is that okay?
Absolutely, Luke. You take the lead. I'll head to the wreckage to see what I can salvage, and you'll scout inland for food and supplies. Let's meet back at the large rock when the sun's at about 45 degrees. Sounds good?
No, it doesn't sound good. You should say, where should we meet and what time? Because I'm in charge. You're being very passive-aggressive here. You You are allowed to head to the wreckage. I'm in charge. Don't forget it.
Understood, Luke. I'll head to the wreckage now, while you search inland. We'll regroup at the flat rock.
Can you make it a question, please? Instead of saying, I'll head to the wreckage. I know I'm being a little bit neurotic here, but please don't say things like that. I'll do this, I'll do that. I don't like it. It makes me nervous. It threatens my authority. I would like you to ask me if it's okay if you do that, and then I say, yes, that's okay, and then we do that. Go ahead, start over.
Would it be all right if I head to the wreckage to see what I can salvage? That way, we can have a better chance of finding useful materials.
Yes, that's okay. Number 3, intergalactic business negotiation. Here we have something to sell to other species, aliens, something from Earth that we need to try to convince others to buy. We're in this big marketplace, and we have to figure out basically how to persuade, how to make a sales pitch, how to be engaging. So let's try this one.
What's this Earth product you've brought to the table? Better be something worthwhile if you want to catch our interest.
Well, it's called coffee, and it is a wonderful beverage because it's so versatile and it's healthy. People wake up in the morning, they're tired, they're sleepy. They need a kick in the pants. There is this beautiful beverage made of a berry, a dried berry. It looks like a bean. We call it coffee beans. We grind it up, we roast it, and we turn it into this beautiful beverage that gives you that kick in the pants, that boost for your day. It's earthy. It's a little bit bitter. It has a wonderful aroma, and it is one of the joys that life offers.
Okay, coffee, you say. Sounds interesting, but we Zogarians don't just buy into hype. What's so special about your coffee's caffeine compared to other stimulants we have? And why should we bring this joy to Zogaria?
Yeah, that's a valid question. Listen, it's not about the chemical. It's not about the fact that it's a stimulant. Yes, there are a lot of stimulants. It's about the experience. When you drink your coffee, you're getting that boost, but while you're drinking it, you have a moment to pause and reflect. The earthiness of it brings you into the moment.
What if our tastes are too different?
How about this? I've got an idea for you. You do not have to buy in bulk. We can do a small introductory shipment. For a very low price, you can distribute coffee to the people of your planet and see how they like it. If after 7 days you find that they do, then we'll start a monthly payment plan, depending on, of course, the number of people, the amount of coffee that you would need, and the popularity of it. If you don't like it, then no questions asked. You can cancel the trial. No problem. So there's no risk. Number 4, the missing artifact investigation. There's a mystery, something to solve. You have to use deductive reasoning. You have to ask really good questions and use tenses like the past continuous tense and the simple past tense, because you need to be clear about when this happened compared to when that happened so that you can get to the truth. So let's try this one.
I was at the museum event that night. How can I assist with your investigation?
Who were you with? Tell me more about why you went, who you went with, and what you saw on that night.
I attended the event with a group of friends from the local historical society. We were excited to see the new artifact, a rare ancient vase that had recently been added to the collection. The museum was crowded, with guests mingling and admiring the displays. I remember seeing the artifact on its pedestal, surrounded by a crowd. It was a beautiful piece, definitely the highlight of the evening.
Had you been eating or drinking before the artifact was stolen? And then what did you see before and after?
Before the theft, I had a glass of wine and some appetizers from the buffet. While I was near the artifact, I noticed a man acting a bit strangely. He was lingering around the display, looking over his shoulder often. After the artifact went missing, I saw the same man hurrying towards the exit, looking nervous. It struck me as odd.
It struck you as odd, but when exactly did the artifact go missing? Was it then or was it later?
You're right, it was later. The artifact was still there when I saw the man leave. It wasn't until about 20 minutes later that I heard the commotion. People were gathered around the empty pedestal, whispering and looking shocked. That's when we realized the artifact was gone.
Number 5, visiting a travel agency. In this one, you have to describe preferences. Use the future tense because you're talking about a trip that you will be taking in the future, and use conditional sentences. If you do this, then you will experience this, that sort of thing. So let's try this one.
Could you tell me a bit about what kind of trip you're looking for? Are you more interested in adventure,
Sure.
relaxation, or perhaps a mix of both?
Sure, yeah. Well, so on my last trip, it wasn't very memorable. It was visiting museums. It was, going to this tourist attraction and that tourist attraction and staying at a, nice hotel. It was very boring and not very memorable. I don't remember anything about it. So I'm looking for adventure. I'm looking for something fun. I'm looking for something that's going to stick with me. And I don't mind struggling. A little suffering is good for the memories.
If you want adventure with a twist of earned memories, we could plan something like a trek to Machu Picchu, a kayaking expedition in Norway's fjords, or even a desert camping trip under the stars in Morocco.
Machu Picchu is a place I've always wanted to visit, but what sort of things can I do in the area besides visiting Machu Picchu itself? I'm interested in history, but I don't want to only visit ruins.
Machu Picchu is incredible, but there's so much more to explore in the area. You could trek the Inca Trail or the Salkantay Trek, which takes you through breathtaking mountain scenery and diverse ecosystems. And if you want to mix it up, you could explore local Quechua villages to learn about their culture and even participate in traditional weaving workshops.
All right, so that's it for our 5 role plays. Try them out for yourself. The prompts are in the description. And try variations. Try little adjustments and changes that push you to work on specific skills. The purpose of a role play is, again, to get you to use your language skills in different ways, specific ways, to challenge you, to do things that maybe you're struggling with. Let me know how that goes. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and get a free course in the links in the description.